Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Mitch. I acknowledge we're getting started late. I had a really hard time getting in here. Apparently, what I was doing was inaccurate, didn't work. And 10 minutes before the call was not enough to make that happen. So Tim gave me some assistance. I will be leading the call tonight. Is there anything about that anybody wants to say, think, do, anything you got going on about it? I got a lot going on about it, but I'm getting over it.
Hi, Mitch. This is Desiree. I'm over audio.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I couldn't get in, and I couldn't figure out how to do that, so I just joined on audio, okay?
Well done, because I couldn't figure out how to get in either, and Tim helped me out, and here we are. So awesome.
Okay, got it. I'm going to mute myself.
All right, perfect. All right, so Tim's not going to manage tonight's call. I'm managing the call in his place. Again, I acknowledge we're starting a couple minutes late. The call is being recorded for those of you who are not joining us at the moment. Today is November 4th. It is the All Florida Course Supervisor course call, and we are about to get started. So first, welcome, like really welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moving things around in your life to be on this call. And would someone create the bold statement of who we are?
I'll create it.
Go ahead, Zaina, it's all you.
All right. I'm so glad we're having the call. I got worried for a moment there. It wasn't happening. I finally made it live with y'all. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here, and I was worried for a long time, for like 15 minutes.
All right. So we're all here. The bold statement of who we are. We, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, holding as sacred the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs, causing the fulfillment of our brand, master providers of whatever is needed.
Thank you, and well done. Okay, would someone create the reason for our existence, please?
I will. This is Sherry.
Sherry, it's all you.
You hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So the reason for the existence of the enterprise, as an enterprise, we exist to empower and enable people in fulfilling those matters that are of interest or importance to them, and in the process, leave them transformed with more power, freedom, self-expression, and peace of mind.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you both for doing that.
Mhm.
Before we really get started,
Join the meeting.
oh, welcome, Pam.
Hey, I made it.
It was a rough ride. We're all here. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm at Wawa. It's exciting.
Okay.
All right.
Oops.
All right. Joshua's here. Who is 786-247-75?
That's Desiree. That's Desiree's.
Okay. Got it. All right. So before we get started with Tim's agenda, I want to clean something up with everybody that's here and everybody that's listening. I was on a call last week for the Florida leaders, and I was being a jerk. And I just want to clean that up with everybody. I had something going on. It had nothing to do with anybody that was on the call, and I wasn't managing myself in a way that was workable. And what I was dealing with doesn't matter. What I can tell you is I am on the hunt for and looking for flags of the physical sensation that happens before that train leaves the station, that runaway train.
Mm.
What I got tonight when I couldn't get into the call as it started is my heartbeat goes a little bit faster, and the shift from being course supervisor to being a jerk happens really fast. So tonight I was able to fend it off. I'm not on that train. For anybody that was on the call last week, I just wanted to take a minute to clean that up, be responsible for who I was being, and, you know, restart from there. And in the future, please feel free, if I'm doing that, to let me know. Okay, like really. It's not my intention to do that, and it's my intention to be on the hunt for it, and I am practicing as of a couple days ago. Anything for anybody about that before we move on?
No.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. So I'm wondering, are you declaring you're transforming this area in your life?
Am I declaring I'm transforming this area in my life? Sure, yes. I'm declaring I'm
great.
transforming this area of my life.
Game on.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You're so powerful.
Whether it's for good or evil, right? Last week was more on the evil side. But anyway, I get it. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Pam. That was great. All right. Anything else for anybody else before we move on?
Mitch, it's Jamie. Can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you, Mitch. I really appreciate that. And, that's awesome. And what I'm left with was, I made a request of the leaders that we all honor our agreements. And do you accept my request and all the leaders? That's kind of what was left for me. That was kind of left open. So,
yeah. Okay.
I promise, so for myself, I do promise to keep my agreements, and I request that, as the leaders of our program, we all start with ourselves and our own clearings. Thank you.
Fair enough. I accept your request. And what I got in my conversation with Tim last night was I've agreed to things I don't necessarily agree with, and I'm not stuck with them. I can actually have conversations with the people that are in charge of those agreements and work out what there is to work out. And I haven't done that yet, but that didn't even occur as an option before last night.
Mm.
So that was really powerful in my conversation with Tim last night. So I thought I would share.
Awesome. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else before we move on?
I will agree to that as well, Jamie. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry.
Mhm.
This is
I do
Tom. I
too.
just want to say happy birthday to Pedro.
Yes, he looks
I didn't get a
Happy
chance to
birthday.
text him.
he's glowing.
Happy birthday, brother. We can't hear you.
Your mic's off.
Can't hear you. Your mic's on, but we're not hearing you. It's not just me that can't hear Pedro, right?
No, I
Everybody?
cannot
Okay.
either.
I just
No,
want
it's
to make
good.
sure we're not creating something else. All right, Pedro, I'll give you a second to work that out. And when you do, just let us know. Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. So,
How about now?
yes.
All
go
right,
ahead.
awesome.
And
awesome.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So Mitch, here's what I have to say. We had a call last week and just for everybody, I declared that I would stop listening to the leaders of our body as whatever I had made up about them and just listen to them as their word, right?
Mm.
And I just want to say, Mitch, thank you for being the source of creating this call today, and thank you for cleaning up what there was for you to clean up. And Mitch, I just want to say this, okay? So you were my first communicator in my first seminar at Landmark.
Oh my goodness. I remember that.
And the power that I got out of your conversations, I will never get over.
Mm.
So I just want you to be present to who Mitch is as a graduate and as a leader body in this work for me, okay?
Thank you for that, Pedro. I
So
remember
here's
that.
what I'm promising is I will not stop listening to you as who you were and who you are for me right now, which is a leader. I'm just not giving up on the idea that you are this work. and the difference that you made for me in the power that you transmitted to me in your conversations with me many, many years ago. And I'm just not giving up. So here's the thing. I'm just saying that I'm declaring that Mitch, and for everybody, I'm listening to every single one of you as your word. And thank you, Mitch, for being on this call and generating this. And I have nothing else to say, but thank you.
Pedro, thank you. I got the acknowledgement, and I so appreciate, and I think I'll speak for everybody in this moment, right? The listening that you generously give to all of us, to not be that runaway train, but be who we say we are in this work and in this body. So thank you for that. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to open it up. And this is really great. We're going to open it up with some sharing. So, what are you dealing with? What breakdowns are you dealing with? What victories have you created? Like, what's going on? Who wants to share? Dave, was that you swatting a fly or raising your hand?
I'm taking drywall off my shirt.
Okay, got it. All right, who wants to share? What are you dealing with? What are your victories?
Mitch, I'll share. This is Joshua Moreno. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Joshua.
So, life for me, so the past few weeks, if not months, I've had breakdowns in finances.
Joshua,
right? So expense.
Joshua, just hold on 1 second. So if you're
Yep.
not speaking, please be on mute. I'm hearing some background noise and I don't want it to take away from anybody sharing, okay? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Joshua. Sorry to interrupt.
It's all good. So the past few weeks, months, 2 months, I would say, I've been having breakdowns with my finances, and Pedro has definitely been coaching me around how I've been viewing my finances and my level of responsibility for it. And what's so is very simply that I have more expenses, more going out than coming in. So this quarter, I set the goal of selling $3 million worth of real estate, and I'm currently at 65% of that goal. So what opened up for me is that I have been expanding on several different fronts, right? My health, my business, expanding my sales team, making more money, dating, all these areas, which is fantastic. But I realized that that doesn't work for me. I wasn't giving all of my attention to a specific area of focus and expanding on that. So what I did was I just reduced the amount of goals that I was pursuing, focus on business and finances, and boom, I'm having breakthroughs with that. I have $2 million worth of real estate under contract. Last week, I also met with an ex-girlfriend that has been on and off for the past, God, it feels like a lifetime, but it's been 2 years. And last week we finally met and we just got complete. We got flat on what it was and what it's not. And what this is basically not happening as a relationship. She's pursuing other opportunities, and so am I. And I have nothing about it, right? The first week, or probably the first 24 hours after that meeting, I was making myself wrong and what's wrong with me and this and that, because I had more interest in the relationship than she did. And what I discovered is that it has nothing to do with me. It's not about what I need to fix to be in a relationship. Like, no, one has nothing to do with the other. And I was able to collapse those two, making myself wrong, not being good enough, not being worthy enough of being with her or in a relationship. Just completely got complete with that. About a month ago, more or less, I also had a huge level of completion with my father's suicide, which also has to do with this relationship with this woman. My father committed suicide when I was 11 years old. And I remember precisely at 11 years old feeling like, man, I wasn't good enough for my dad to be around. I wasn't good enough for my dad to want to raise me. And there just had to be something wrong with me. And me being the only boy out of 4 children, I really felt like it was me. Like, my mom didn't commit suicide. Well, it's because I have 3 sisters and it's worth her being around for my 3 sisters. But my dad committed suicide and it's because I'm not worthy of. That's the story that I made up, and just completely got done with that story. You know, I'm not, I wouldn't say so much done with it. It's just like a new depth of completion with it, because I've gotten complete with my father's suicide so many times over and over. But now this is like going deeper into that. So living life, having more connection, more intimate conversations with my family, with my mother, with my sisters. There's a new level of authenticity, of trust, of openness. Talking to my mom about subjects that I would never would have thought of, like sex and dating and marriage and what that looks like. So it's just completely authentic, when before it was just holding my cards up and not letting her into my life because of fear of judgment and criticism. And now I don't care. It's not that I don't care, but I don't seek her approval or disapproval of my life. It's just, hey, mom, this is what I'm up to. You know, like, you're my friend. You're someone that I trust, that I love, that I welcome into my life to have a relationship with. And that's a whole new relationship. I've never had that before with my mom. And having that relationship with my mom has allowed me to view women in general at a completely different capacity, and viewing relationships, an intimate relationship with a woman, at a different capacity. So I'm excited to see what's to come in the future when I do find that right person, whatever the right person is, right? Whatever that right or wrong is. But that woman that I yearn to be in a relationship with, and I'm not attached to how it looks like. You know, I'm committed to being in a passionate, loving, supportive relationship with a woman that I'm madly in love with. And I'm also perfectly fine and okay with the life that I have now without one. So I love life. It's a fun journey. It's not always all ups, but it's definitely worth riding. So thank you guys. Health wise, I'm doing a triathlon, April 18th, 2021. I haven't done that triathlon in 5 years. And it falls precisely the day before my birthday. So I'll be turning 31 April 19th, and I will be completing that race April 18th. And it's been 5 years since I've done a race. I've done races from the age of 18 to 25, but from the ages of 27, 28, 29, 30, I've had car accidents which have significantly set me back. Hernias, you name it. But really, more than anything, it's been mental, right? Like, after the physical injuries have recovered and gone, I was still very limited to thinking what I could actually do physically. But it wasn't because I was physically incapable. I was just mentally scared, right? Scared to push myself into those boundaries. And I've allowed that to be an excuse for me to not take my health to the next level. And I'm going for it. You know, I'm declaring that I'm going to weigh 210 pounds by December 31st. Right now I'm at 228, so I have 18 pounds to go. And I'm going for it. That's my share. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Joshua, so here's what I hear in your speaking. First, and Philip has said this a bunch of times, completing with your parents makes all the difference in the world in your entire life. And I hear that you're doing that with your past with your father, and, with this new relationship that you're creating with your mother. I think that's phenomenal. And I have a question. In your goals, you said you had a lot of goals and that you were not getting to them. And now that you're focusing on your goal to do $3 million worth of real estate business, I'm just curious, are all the other things, and it sounds like they are all the other things falling in line along with it?
Yes. So let me clarify. $3 million worth of real estate for this quarter. And yes, all the other goals are falling in line. And it has to do with just picking the larger goal, right? And everything else falls into place. And the amount of energy, attention, the amount of wake that I need to create to get to those larger goals makes all the smaller goals so much easier to obtain.
Understood. And I would offer you this if I might, okay? Goals are great.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with goals. And when you invent a possibility bigger than yourself, like $3 million in a quarter, and you commit yourself to that, well, the universe has a way and life has a way of working itself out around it. It's about your word. And I so get that you are related to your word and your commitment to produce $3 million worth of real estate revenue in this quarter. And you're more than halfway there, and we're not quite halfway through the quarter yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, well done. Thank you for sharing that. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. What I've also realized is it's like life says, wow, this guy's like no kidding about his word and his goals. And it's just like life just lofts up some opportunities.
Yeah.
And me being there, standing in my word, clear on what I want and my intentions, opportunities, you know, I take them. They're right there. They're readily available. So, yeah.
Really, thank you, Josh. It's a really great demonstration of being your word and then having life work out around that. And then, you know, new actions become into view that may not have been into view when you weren't. Really well done. Okay,
Thank you.
who would else like to share?
I'd like to share.
Go ahead, Zaina, it's all you.
So I did the Landmark Forum for graduates online, and it was really, really awesome. I wanted to do it so I can review the forum, and I'm also talking to a lot of people about, you know, transferring them to our online courses.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be able to speak for myself and say, you know what, for real, this is not a watered down version of our work. None of our courses are. So it was really awesome. Mark Spiritos led my forum. There was 250 graduates, and they were like, you know, it's just all these graduates that have been around for a long time, and center managers and seminar leaders. It was awesome. A few things I wanted to share is, one, I created the possibility of being present. On Friday, I spent the day scrolling my phone, Facebook, Instagram, Groupon, whatever I can do to like not be present. And I got that if I was in person, I wouldn't have done that, Mitch, because I want to look good. I'm a staff member, course supervisor. I'm not going to sit there and scroll my phone.
Join the meeting.
By Saturday, I was like, I had to like throw my phone. I was so like addicted to like, but it's, you know, I got the addiction is like, I'm unwilling to be present. And I really got the impact when I was sharing with my boyfriend. He's like, yeah, I don't share with you things. Like he's very picky when he shares with me because my attention span is next to none. And his experience is I'm not present ever. So that was awesome. And then by Sunday, you know, I threw my phone into the water. No, I'm just kidding. But I was really like, I really took on the discipline of not multitasking and, you know, of being present. And it really took something, and it was awesome. I also discovered something around rackets. Like, obviously I'm a racketeer, and like, I'm complaining about everything. But what I got about rackets is there's a way of being that comes with the racket. And what I saw about the way of being that comes with my rackets, it's like, it's a way of being where I'm powerless and I'm helpless. So in the background, like, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it in life. I'm always going to fail. And it's the ultimate cost of a racket. It was just so powerful. And I created the possibility of being powerful. And like, when I came out of the forum, the first thing that hit me was that conversation. And I had a huge breakdown on Monday. I was just like, it's like everything I ever tried to create in my life, what's there in the background is I'm not going to make it. I'm powerless. I'm hopeless. And, you know, just being in this conversation and having the committed listening that we have, you know, whether, you know, you have committed listening as a course supervisor, it is like such a privilege. And I just really got present to the privilege that I get to, you know, work with the forum leader every day and get developed in the way I'm being developed, and to be listened to committedly. Like, I get so mad at Philip because he expects me to be great and to perform and, you know, to have integrity and, and, you know, that's what's possible. You know, I wound up being somebody who lies. I wound up being somebody who's dramatic. And I also discovered that I wound up being somebody who is self-conscious and nervous. So I'm nervous and I'm self-conscious and I cover it up. And it was such a blind spot for me because I didn't see it like that was a way you could wind up being. And I've been making it wrong that I'm nervous and self-conscious. And I saw it like, Sherry, something like I can give up. Like every time I get on a call, whether it's with you guys or Philip or the self-expression leadership program leaders, not with my mom, but just like anybody else and my mom, there's always this nervousness that's there and this self-consciousness. So it was really great. So I like get to be present. I got powerful. And I get to say that, you know, we're not doing the Landmark Forum online. It's not like some other thing. We're doing the Landmark Forum, period. And awesome. We've discovered that, you know, we can deliver it virtually as well as we do it in person. And it's not like a comparing thing, like one is better than the other. It just is what it is. I actually really enjoyed doing it from home. I like have had such a racket about our courses being in rooms without windows and, you know, just like the whole environment. So for me, it worked. It was awesome. I sat in front of the ocean and I was at home and I loved it. And now I get to speak from experience. So
Awesome.
yes. And, you know, and I also wanted to share, you know, inside of that, I've been saying the truth, you know, and I've been creating, like, you know, with Philip, I've created, you know, I'm creating a 40-hour work week as a staff member.
Wow.
Mitch, it's so cool because there's a lot of times where like I'm not productive. Like on a Friday night from 7 to 9, I don't do anything and I get paid to do nothing. So instead of doing that, I just declare I'm done. I'm not going to work Friday night. And you know, it's you know, it's, I think I've shared this with you guys, but it's like, you know, it's like eating donuts in the closet. So I'm discovering all these places where I eat donuts in the closet, and it's, you know, like being rigorous around my hours, and I can actually scale down my hours as a staff member and get as much done is what I'm discovering. So, and it's all inside of integrity and saying the truth. And for me, the saying the truth that I'm discovering is all the things I don't want to say. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. This is where I didn't keep my word. This is where I didn't accomplish this. So, and then one more thing, just in terms of health and well-being, I made a promise that I'm taking off 15 pounds off of this physical body, and by the end of the year. And it's the first time in my life that I actually created a plan. Like I did a community project form for it, and I have timelines, and putting my butt on the line and giving my word to that is so empowering. So it's been like 4 days, and I'm just so happy. Like I'm so happy to be accountable.
I totally get it. And thank you. I was so recreated in almost everything you said. I can't speak for everybody else, but very possible others are recreated in that as well. So thank you for sharing that. And look, for the first time since I started doing this work, which goes back to 1996, we literally are making it available to anybody, anywhere. And that's been our word since then. And now with our online courses, that's actually happening. If you have an internet connection, you can do this work. It's remarkable. And the job that's been done in the few months that we've been around in the online world has just phenomenal. What's been created and how impactful it is. And just, you know, for an organization or an enterprise to shift gears like we have, I haven't seen anything else like it. It is truly remarkable. So
it is. And it's amazing to be on this end to like witness all of it. One more thing just about spending an hour with Philip a week. There's an opportunity that's starting in January where Philip is leading one of the master courses.
Nice.
They're like seminars on steroids. So it's led by a forum leader and a seminar leader. So it's an opportunity to be with a forum leader once a week. Yeah, and the forum leader is going to be Philip. So living passionately, I don't know what discount we get as course supervisor, but I don't know, there must be something. I can find out.
My understanding is, and Tim can, you know, send an email out about this, but if you're a level 3, there's a scholarship.
For the whole thing?
For the whole thing.
Okay.
And now I don't know if this applies to the master courses. I know that's for seminars.
Okay,
So
let me get clear about that. I'll let you guys know.
That would be great, because as I'm saying it, I'm like, you know what, I shouldn't say this because I'm not sure about this. So let me just not say that. And
I may have an answer by the end of this call. Philip answers pretty fast.
That'd be awesome. Yes, he does. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Zaina.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else have anything, their victories, what you're dealing with?
Yeah, this is Tom. I'll go. I have been really taking on, on our Monday calls, we've been talking for a few weeks about what's complete and what's incomplete in our lives. So I've been looking at stuff and, I've been on fire last week. Like I was just, and the more I got complete and the more integrity I put in, the lighter and freer I felt. And, I've created this possibility back when I was still coaching the self-expression leadership last spring, who I am as a possibility of peace and freedom. And that I've been like living inside of that possibility. So last week I paid the IRS off my whole tax bill for 2019. I paid off 4 credit cards. I paid back money that I borrowed from my dad when my mom passed away 3 years ago. And then I did a whole bunch of small things like replace the light bulb in the garage and fix the vacuum cleaner and just like all this stuff. Anything I cleaned my room, I dusted my whole house with furniture polish, not a feather duster, and just like all this stuff. The whole week I was in action, and it was like awesome. And I was talking to Sherry about it on our mentor call, and she's like, "You sound really like free and light and happy." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I am, because I completed all this stuff. It's awesome." And it really is true. I just took it on in that call that we had. Gina created, like, when you complete something, the space it leaves, right, for more action and freedom. So yeah, it's been a really fun week and a half or 2 weeks.
Beautiful. And that, Tom, thank you. That really is our work at work. And for you, it sounds like it's our work at play. Like I really hear that in what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're getting stuff done, you're being effective, you're being productive, and there's a lightness and a freedom around you that wasn't there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right. There's a couple of things that we need to go over. So here's what I propose. Let me go over.
Something.
Hold on one second, Fritz. I'll let you share just after this. Okay. So what I was going to propose, and we'll do it after Fritz shares, is we'll go through the points that Tim wants us to cover, and then we'll open it back up for sharing. And Fritz, since you requested to share, by all means, go share.
Okay, so what I'm dealing with is the election today. Yesterday night I just couldn't sleep, so, and I also, there was a point today where, I just couldn't get away from the TV. And I have to say, I went and I looked at myself and I did say, what does it mean? And I got back to nothing about all of it. And I got that whatever the results are, there will be something to do and I can deal with it then. So that actually really got me away from the anxiety and the constant need to know the results. So yeah, just wanted to mention that, since that's what's going on right now.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's funny. I haven't turned on the TV all day. Right. I've just been busy all day. And last night I would pop in and pop out. And like what you said is so relevant to what everybody is dealing with. Right. So there's this thing called an election that's happening. Right. And you're right. It's going to go the way it goes. And there'll be actions to take. And the fact that you got yourself freed up from being hooked, right, by the TV, it's really great, because then you get to do what there is to do and not be at the effect of it. Well done. Anything else? Okay. So I'm going to go over the items. Can't think of another word for it that we need to cover, and then we'll open it back up for sharing. Okay. So for those of you who have not submitted your answers to the questionnaire email that was sent regarding supervisors, course supervising in 2021, Tim sent a couple of emails out about that. Please get that done as soon as possible. They really are collecting that data to figure out how to navigate, or how we're going to navigate 2021. And yes, the only thing in life that is certain is uncertainty. So we're trying to bring some certainty to a very uncertain realm. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, if you're listening to the recording and you haven't gotten that taken care of, please respond to Tim and get him that survey, those questionnaires back as soon as possible. Also, if you haven't submitted your schedule for 2021, please send that to Tim and Dennis as soon as possible. I can tell you, as someone who has made this mistake in the past, if you don't do it, you get stuck with what's left and it may not work with your schedule. And the only person I had to blame for that was me, right? So please take a look. I know, again, it's uncertain. Figure out what works, figure out what you can be a part of, and get that online with Tim and Dennis so that they can get that hammered out and get the schedule complete. Okay? And lastly, we will be having a 2-hour program meeting with the center manager on the 12th of December. And the exact time of that 2 hours is not yet determined. So I'm going to post a link up in the chat for the CS website for you to say if you're attending or that you are attending. Let me get to the chat here real quick. Please click on this link and fill that out. Now, I, for one, have not done it myself. I will do it at the end of this call. Okay, and my request is that everybody takes care of this within 24 hours. Do you guys agree with that? Nodding your head would work, saying yes would work, saying no would work.
Mitch, is this a link to this on the CS website? Like, how will people on the recording do that?
That's a fair question. I will send an email out to the body with this link. Since Tim's not managing the call, I have the link on my little notes and I will send it out to everybody. Thank you, Jamie, for that. I will do that tonight.
Cool, thanks.
Mitch, I got an answer for the master course.
Awesome.
There's no scholarship whatsoever available. And the
Okay, and do you know
cost
what the
for
cost
it
of it is?
Yeah, it's $225.
Okay. So to attend a master course led by a forum leader who happens to be our center manager, you said it was Living Passionately, right, Zaina?
Yes.
And it starts in January?
January 14th is the possibility of grace, ease, and purpose in your life.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, contact Kai at the center, and the cost is $225.
Actually,
you for doing
contact Philip or me or Jared.
Okay. There you
Mitch,
go.
that event on the 12th is already on the website, so you can just go under meetings and events if you're
Right.
on the
Go there.
recording,
Yeah.
and you can go look for it on December 12th.
Perfect. You rock, Tom. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I will not send an email out because, as Tom's pointed out, it's set up as a meeting and event already on the website. And the link was for the people that are on the call. And for those of you that are listening on the call, please go to the course supervisor website, look for December 12th, and mark your attendance to be there.
Also, Mitch, same thing for the master course. You can go right to Landmark Worldwide and you could register, and you can also call us.
Technology. Oh, my goodness.
Amazing.
That's great. Thank you. Okay. Anything else about any of the things we've discussed so far? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So we have 20 minutes left for this call. Who would like to share whatever's going on, something that's good, something that you're dealing with, a breakthrough, a victory over the past? Who would like to share?
I'll share. It's
Go ahead,
Monica.
Monica.
Yeah, I've had a huge transformation in the last week. I completed something I've been working on for about 4 years. And it was a book that I've been writing, and it's complete. And I sent it to my editor yesterday, and it's like, now we're looking at the covers, and it's just like, I feel really like a huge achievement because it's been a lifelong passion to write this book. And it's actually going to be launching December 5th. And yeah, yeah, it just feels really good. I spent a week in Cocoa Beach with my girlfriend last week too. And my parents used to spend their winters there. And I had a lot of mixed feelings about going for many reasons. And I just, I knew I didn't want to be there alone. But my girlfriend came down, And it turned out that I really needed that time to let go and, just really kind of just get really present. Like Zaina was saying, like just start, like breathe and get into my body and connect with myself. And being on the ocean last week was just, it was really extraordinary. And it made me really feel, because 2 years ago, I spent a week in that resort as well and had a horrible breakup with my boyfriend at the time. So it was a real healing for me, and so much has shifted because I was willing to go there and face what I went through and face my parents being gone now. Both of them are gone now, and just sit with myself. And also, I really got how lucky I am, how really grateful I am to have the friends that I have and the family that I have. And I have 8 brothers and sisters, and so, yeah, it's like I have a huge family, and it's just part of me to really, instead of saying over and over, because I live alone now, like, oh, I'm all alone, to stop that mantra and to just keep connecting with people. And yeah, and I realized I just have to stop saying that because it isn't true. And yeah, completion is awesome. I don't know what else to say. I just feel really, really kind of proud of myself. But also, what happened? How did I say, I just declared I was going to do this. I was going to publish this book this year. And it's happening. So I'm really excited about that.
Outstanding. Congratulations on the book, and congratulations on doing what it takes to start to get complete. Like, it's a big deal when that stuff isn't in front of you and it's actually behind you and not getting in the way of everything you say, think, and do.
Right.
Really,
Yeah.
it's our work. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. And now you can go back there, right, and enjoy it. Yes?
Oh, I love it there now. It's like, oh, it's only an hour away. I can go anytime I want.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well done. Really well done.
Thank you.
Who else?
Hey, I'll share.
Okay, David, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Let's see. Good to be with all you guys. And I just want to say, thank you for everybody's shares. They're really powerful. It's good to hear everybody and what people are up to here, and to be with you on the call live. I don't remember the last call I was on live. And something I got from because I think I have like 7 incompletions on my core supervisor thing, which was, they were all core supervisor calls, and I was like, and I listened to all of them except 1 or 2, which they're not available anymore. And I really got, how I really miss. That's one of the impacts, is really not being with you guys. Yeah. And I was like, damn, wow, I didn't see that, because I was like, I'll listen to it, But that's a big impact, not actually being with you and seeing you and hearing what you guys are up to and sharing in this, it's a big thing. So that's why I got my butt on tonight.
Good.
Yeah, and so I'll just quickly, I've had some breakthroughs go on.
Sorry, Dave, say that again.
A lot going on behind the
connection
scenes.
got wonky for a second, so repeat like the last 5 seconds because we missed it.
There's some breakthroughs going on.
Good.
Breakthroughs have happened. So quickly, I'll go through it. I wasn't speaking to my parents for about 7 months, 6, 7 months. That was that time. Before that was like a year, on and off. Anyway, and I got over it with a lot of coaching and patience from Tim and Pedro and Mitch and some other people. I got a lot got complete, actually, with my mom, my father, and then took the communication course, Power to Create, and then invited my mom to the Landmark Forum and to the intro, which Philip was leading, and he rocked it. And then I asked her, requested, okay, so do you want to take the Landmark Forum? She said yes. I mean, there was some other stuff. I'm making a really condensed version here, but so she's registered, for the Landmark Forum. And I mean, I never in a million years did I think my mom would ever take the Landmark Forum. I mean, I just had it that my mom that she gave up on life. She's in her pity party, and she's just waiting to die. And I just have to grin and bear it with her, the relationship, until she does that. And that's the way it was, and I was really clear about that until, I got off it and with her and completed things and took the communication course and all the coaching with Tim and just a lot of stuff. So, man, that's humongous. So my dad is next. And so that's that. And then what else? Yeah, the Power to Create was amazing. I got off it about things being online because I'm kind of the opposite of Zaina. I want to be in those rooms with no windows and people. But I realized, through this whole thing, I don't know everything and the way it should all turn out. And being online, things, it's made available to people who couldn't take it. And that's something else. And my mom wouldn't take it if it wasn't online. She's 74. And she made it really clear she doesn't want to sit in a room for 3 days for 12 hours a day. So, that's a good thing. And what the Power to Create, I cleaned a lot of stuff up with people, and there was something like, a couple of things. Like, one, I really saw like how I create people's listening for me. And what I've always done is that I'll create the listening, not even knowing what I'm doing. And then they'll take an action, and then I'll get pissed off and then run a racket on them. But I'm the one who created that. And so what I saw is that I could be really responsible for how people, kind of interact with me in the way that I created the listening for them. And to be responsible for the listening that I create of others, for example, my mom, and in the communication course, I created a new listening for my mom. And that's how she showed up and she registered, I was really, really powerful, And what else? I guess that's about it for now. Yeah. Thank you.
Dave, it's really great. I'm so excited for you and your mom. And what I loved about your share is, you got off it and now she has a new lease on life. And you literally just rolled off your lips like your dad's next, like no biggie, this is going to happen. And it's the kind of listening you were just talking about. You create the listening and they fall into it. Really outstanding work.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being on the call. Thanks for sharing. All right. We have 9 minutes or so left. Anyone else want to share?
I'll share a little more. Last week, I submitted my divorce papers and got with my soon-to-be ex-wife and filled out all the papers, agreed on whatever there was to agree with, and then sent it, mailed it, and contacted the courts to see how to do it, and then follow the procedures. And and sent that. And so having done that, it also freed me up to go and be able to date. Not being able, but freed me up to date. And of course, what I want is like just jump into a relationship. But then I just went out, on a lunch with a friend, with a female friend, and we really had a really nice conversation. And that was actually for me an experience that for the last, almost 30 years, I haven't gone really on a date. So, or I haven't gone just to lunch discovering somebody. And during that conversation also, several times, I found myself wanting to correct her or to say something or to point out something, which is one of the ways I wound up being, that I know better and I need to show you and I need to teach you. And I really noticed that in my conversations in there, and I just stopped it. And sometimes I said something, most of the times I didn't. And that made it so much more enjoyable to say, okay, I understand. And I get what you're saying, rather than, oh, but what about this and what about that and what about this and what about that? So for me, that was actually a really huge break to just say, oh yeah, I understand, and leave it at that. So that's that.
That's awesome. Look, first, congratulations, I think, on your divorce. And
Thank
getting
you.
it complete.
Not finalized yet, but soon.
And now that that's becoming complete, you can create something new instead of falling
Absolutely.
into whatever that was. It's really great. And you've already started. You went on a date and the conversation didn't evolve around, but I know. It evolved around what she had to say. That's awesome. I understand women like that, and people of the opposite sex like that when you're on a date, or anytime you're on a date. They like when it's about them, not us.
Oh, yeah, about the both of us.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, it's, and I am taking on creating really a loving and affectionate relationship and trustful relationship. So, and yeah, it's creating that, and part of creating that is going out there and being out there and being available, which before I realized I wasn't, and I was really hiding. So now it's funny because it's like they're showing up. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see where that goes.
Getting complete, creating a new future, and allowing it to unfold. That is awesome. Really.
Yep.
Awesome, Fitzgerald.
Really, really well done.
Awesome.
Okay, we've got 4.5 minutes left. Anybody else want to share, or we can end the call early?
Hey, this is Jamie. I've got something.
Please.
First, I just want to acknowledge everybody sharing tonight. It's just so awesome. Like everybody who shared is like really participating in transformation and in participating in life. And Mitch, I just really acknowledge you. You are our next local coordinator, and that's who you are being. It really is just who you're being, and leading this call is just awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's just great. It's like I'm back on a course with you, and you're my lead.
It's always fun, Jimmy. Always.
And nothing's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I've been going through this renovation, and Dave's been helping me out. And I go through various levels of anxiety of, taking on, debt, and how am I going to pay for this, and working out this thing. And oh, there's 10 other things that came up. And I've just been, sometimes I get stressed or whatever, but when it's gotten really bad, I called my coach and he straightened me out in about 15 minutes. That was cool. And I've just been completing things. you know, and it just really is that. And even just completing one thing just puts me in the world of, you know, possibility rather than the world something's wrong. And then it's easy to complete the next thing. And then that's just all it is. You know, it's like you said to me on a course, there's what so, and then what action is there to take. The other thing I would just say is, you know, Tim sent an email asking what is our word in the matter of some things. And I promised that we would do 100% homework this week. So I request that you guys take that on with me, because I don't think I can do it alone. And I just request we all cause our group to be 100% homework, and just standing in, everybody participating. And I do have a concern. There's, you know, like, it's great having Dave on this call, you know, but there's some other course supervisors we haven't had live on a call in a long time. And, you know, I know they're marking their homework off and everything, but I just, you know, let's reach out and create some community, and, you know, maybe request they join us live and tell them we missed them, you know.
Accepted, Jamie.
Thanks, Zaina. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That's awesome, Jamie. And it's so interesting. This is the second call I've been on today, and the other call wasn't even landmark related. That ended with, we are social beings, and we don't live in a little bitty bubble. There's 13 or 14 people on this call, right? 13, right? And reaching out and bringing people in and expanding our group, or welcoming them, or whatever it looks like, to include them and have them be included in what we're doing makes a difference. We are a body. There's no question about it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I have a request just to hear from Nahla. I think it's the only voice we didn't hear on these squares. Just like 60 seconds, Nahla.
I just this is Pam. I just want to put something in really quick that just as a reminder inside of Jamie's requests, otherwise it'll get convoluted. So the only requirement is that we're in communication about whether or not we're going to do the assignment, and we still don't do that as a group 100%. And Jamie's expanding, I'll rather look at the expansion rep. He's expanding the game. So I just want to put that in so that so it's on tape. There we go. I'm so old. So it's recorded. All right. Sorry, Nahla. I love you. Go.
All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been on the calls, and really happy to be with you guys. And actually, really quick, I'll share something that I got freed up with. I actually had years and years and years ago, when I was maybe 16, 17, decided to shut down, emotions, feelings, and that impacted another area of my life, but I had seen them as two separate situations. And then just like last week, through a process, I got that did impact the other area of my life. They were not two separate events. And it just made a whole difference. It just cleared up years and years and years of, thinking, going back and thinking about that whole time. And so I got freed up with that, and it was just, amazing. So I just wanted to share that really quick.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's 7 o'clock. Thank you all for working out what there was to work out to be here. Thank you for your sharing. I love you all. If you're listening to the recording, thank you for listening to the recording, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a great.
Mitch, can you stay on after you end the recording? I have a question.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, great.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Hold on a second. I'm getting a call from Joe. I'll call him back.
Okay, and it's real quick. Did we take roll? Did we see who was actually on the call versus who said they would be on the call?
Not do that.
Okay. That was one thing we will definitely want to add in.
All right. Bye, guys. See ya.